Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Welcome to the Artsy Bunch. And I'm here today with Marissa Sweet, beautiful artist from Canada. Hi, Marissa.
Hello, Bettina. How are you? Thank you for inviting me to chat today.
Yay, you are so welcome. I'm doing great. And so I wonder what we are going to talk about. So, to dive in, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, you are in Canada. Where in Canada are you, and what brought you to art?
Okay, Bettina. Hello, first to all, everybody on Facebook and in YouTube. My name is Marissa Sweet.
Where in
Yeah,
Canada are you?
I I am I am close to Toronto, which is the capital of Ontario. So I'm on East Central Time. And
Yeah.
so I am probably 40 minutes away from Toronto in the suburb called Oshawa. Just a little bit quieter, a little bit quieter, less traffic, although it's starting to get busy now. So that's where I live.
Beautiful. So you are actually not too far from me. I'm in Wisconsin by Madison. So like I'm Central Time Zone. You are just, but I know the
I'm
Eastern Time
Eastern.
Zone is not
Yeah.
far from me,
Yes,
where it starts in Michigan. So
right.
hello.
Yeah, just 1 hour difference, really. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Tell us a little bit about your journey. What brought you to art? Like, was it a given? Did you dive in right away? Have you always known? Or what was your journey into it?
yeah, so it's kind of weird because my journey, I've always loved to draw, and I think I'm the same as you. I've always been very creative as a kid, and continued on all throughout my schooling days, all the way to university. But I took up a business course in university. My parents really tried to sway me to get a business degree rather than an art degree because they mentioned to me and really encouraged me that the art creative business is very competitive. And so, I followed their request, went into business, took up economics. I don't know how I made it, but I did, and worked in many fields in the corporate world, from HR to sales and marketing. But I've always painted on the side. I've always taught friends on the side. Whenever I'm on vacation, I would be painting outdoors. So it never left me. It has always been with me until 2001. And the company I was working for downsized, particularly the division where I was, which was training and development in HR. So when they downsized that portion, um, I had a hard time looking for another corporate job. So my husband encouraged me to, why don't you pursue your art and try to see if you can find shows while you're looking for another corporate job, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think um it's a blessing in disguise, Bettina, because it just went. So I went for an art
I
show.
just wanted to say, how did you get so lucky,
I
that
know, I
they
know.
downsized you? So, but keep talking.
Yeah, no, no. So they downsized me, and it was very depressing. And
Yeah.
because you're sort of attached to your corporate job, it becomes sort of like your identity. And then all of a
Mm.
sudden, it was gone, and so it was still a blessing because then I realized, who am I? I am a creative being. I love to express myself through paintings. That's where I feel the most joyful. And so
Wow.
my husband just said, "Well, try to find some shows you can join, and maybe, while you're waiting for, interviews with corporate world." That never happened for some reason, but I got hired by an art store to be one of their sales staff. And from there, I just started teaching, and then it just snowballed into more shows. and then to more teaching, and then to more shows until I wasn't looking anymore to go back to the corporate world. This is my world. This is where I should be. And I've
Wow.
never been happier.
This is amazing. See, where a at first negative situation turns actually into something that is absolutely positive. And it's interesting how our paths are similar. I have also always been this creative being, like it was just popping out of me and flowing out of me everywhere. And also my parents said, the arts, acting, that is all very dangerous, that is not lucrative. So they stirred me into the banking sector. So I was a financial advisor and portfolio manager. And also I worked for IBM in marketing and sports sponsoring, so corporate world, right? Like you.
Yeah.
And my parents had always told me, oh, the art you can do later on the
Yeah.
side,
On
right?
the side. It's always on the side.
Do what is truly you on the side. Huh.
Yeah.
What a sales job they did. So I believe that, but I got also very like sort of unhappy. It was, I could do it. Of course, we can do things, right? Most of the creative people are so talented in many areas that we can do it. Yet if there is this urge and the whisper of your inner being that is yearning to come out, and the creativity wants to come out. So for me also it was, I was always wishing to be downsized and it didn't occur.
Yeah.
So I actually quit in
You
2003,
quit.
and I
Wow.
left, yeah, I left
That's big.
that environment, and I actually left Europe and I came to New York City to give this artist full space. And now I'm looking back at that. And also, as you say, at first it is like, it is a little bit scary. And it's also, I'm wondering how many people who are watching us now or who are going to watch us sometime in the future
Sure.
are in a similar situation where they don't know what. There is just something that they know about. They can just not place their fingers on there. What I always say is, had I known, and I wonder whether you had this also, Marissa, had I known 20 years ago that I would be doing everything that I'm doing right now in the art field, I would have freaked out. Had you told me, Bettina,
Yeah.
you are going to travel the country doing
Right.
art fairs and setting up tents, and you are going to run a business actually, and you are going to
Yeah.
have websites, and you are going to do inventory, and you are going to do your own books, bookkeeping, I
Yep.
would have said, you must be kidding. Did you
Right.
have this too?
Well, yeah, I knew somehow, somewhere, sometime I will be doing art. But I mean, there's a lot involved in being an artist, which I didn't know until I became one. You know, that this is
I
full-time
know.
job, and we have so many hats. I mean, in the corporate world, you're just doing your role. You know, this is your job description, and this is what has to happen. Maybe something else if there's other corporate events. But as an artist, we're business owners, and we are managing our business in many different um, job descriptions, from shipper to photographer to marketer to actually doing the product, advertising, promotion, publicity, everything. It's crazy.
And you don't
But
learn
it
this at art school, right?
No, we don't learn that in art school. But the thing is, because it's our passion, we don't see it as a quote unquote job. We we uh we we we're inspired. We make it work because it's something we would do anyway.
Yeah, it is this, yeah, beautiful, this passion for our work. And then also, like, what if your paintings want to be out in the world, way beyond the scope of what you think is possible, right? So there's this, my paintings always they actually told me this year, we want to go beyond Wisconsin. We want to go to other states. And I'm like, oh, okay. And you know what this means, traveling, and
Traveling.
then we become travel agents on top of everything else. We book hotels and we
Right.
book the journeys and we arrange things. And oh, maybe I can do another show. Where would that be? It's like, whoa, a lot of things that you will not realize when you look at the painting. The painting behind you, by the way, is beautiful. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
So
Thank you.
Marissa,
Winter.
this what?
It's winter. Winter theme. Although it's not snowing today here in Ontario, it's actually beautiful, sunny, and 10 degrees. It's
Wow.
beautiful weather here right now. I don't know what it is in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. So 10 degrees, you are Celsius, right?
Yes.
10 degrees Celsius. So that must be something like 42 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that is sort of nice. I don't know, it just clouded in here today. So we are around freezing, a little bit colder, but yesterday was beautiful. We were in like
Oh,
52, which would
oh,
then be something like 15, 12, 13, 14 degrees Celsius.
for us. Wow, that's great. Yeah, I guess
Yes.
we got the sunny day today, so we're very
Yeah.
excited.
And
Hmm.
I'm so happy to have met you. We met on Instagram, so social media, and I came across you and I loved your art. And you have so beautiful nature paintings. And then I see images of you painting plein air. So
Yeah,
what brought you to plein air,
and
which has
air.
its own challenges, right?
I know. It that's a different um yeah, that's a different painting environment because you're outside. You're painting what you see. You're painting your own your environment. What got me into that? I don't know. I think it's because I've always been inspired by the French impressionistic painters.
Hmm.
At the age of 10, my uncle, who is also an artist, he's more of a theater guy. So he's a theater um like you, right? It's like more into the arts of creativity and theater performance.
Wow.
So he introduced me to Monet, Claude Monet. He
Mm.
gave me books of impressionist painters, Degas, Renoir, all of them. um and I started reading them and realized that they were painting outdoors. So from there, by reading their books, I started to say, oh, okay, maybe I'll try painting outdoors. First, I was just bringing, very, like crayons. I was 10 years old. So, just um, markers and pencils, different leads of pencils. And I really liked it. And then I just, whenever it's summertime, I'd go outside and just paint out there. Now it's like full time. I'm full time plein air painter now. So I go out there and I just try to capture what I see. It's just more spontaneous. You're limited in time, so you can't be too dilly dally with detail. So I just find the spontaneity just so rewarding.
And you
Yeah,
paint in oil?
yeah. I paint in oils, especially
Wow.
outside. Yeah,
Yeah. How do you
yeah. But
get them home when they are wet?
they, it could be tricky. I do. I have a box, a plein air kit that you can put in two boards back to back, and they don't hit each other, and they
Hmm.
don't hit the boards too. So I can do that. So it's pretty safe. But if I'm painting more, then I have a makeshift painter's kit that I can stack them. It's just made out of cardboard, really. It's not
Yeah,
expensive, but there's the creativity, right?
I know we make things up as we go, right? I
Yeah.
remember once I was in Key West and, like out with my bicycle and I went to the beach and I always have watercolors with me because they
Mm.
travel so easily, right? So
Yes,
I was
yeah.
on the beach painting, 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 not
Nice.
not noticing the time go by. and it got dark, right? And so
Oh,
here I was, and the park guard came to me and said, ma'am, you got to go now. We have to close the park. And here I am with a wet watercolor painting, my palette, and a bicycle. So how,
how are you gonna take that home?
right?
How
So
did you manage?
he helped me actually. And
Oh,
he carried something so I could actually maneuver the bicycle. But see, these are
really?
the things where as creatives, like we are spontaneous, and it's like when the moment is right, we just go for it. And
Yeah,
then it's like, okay, so do I have to leave my painting behind now and come back later?
right. Where was this? This was in Europe, though, was it?
No, this was in Key West.
Oh, okay,
In
West.
yeah, in
Oh,
Florida,
oh,
beautiful.
very
Just I love
nice.
painting on the ocean. It's just
Mm.
so painting in nature. And so you have, like I saw on your Instagram page, like nature and peace. So like, and I'm also always thinking about, before we look at your art and some paintings, like how many people are looking for more peace? Would you then say that art and being outside in nature and painting is creating peace in your life?
Yes, it does. And I mean, even just taking a walk, even if we're not even painting out there, but just being surrounded by nature, going on a hike, it just really rejuvenates you. It rejuvenates the spirit. And there are many studies now with, the health benefits of being surrounded by the forest and just walking and hiking and breathing all the clean air and all the beautiful energy that nature provides us. So
Mhm.
when I'm painting in nature, I bring that to my paintings in the hope that perhaps whoever purchases my painting, and in the hope, or even in a gallery, whoever sees that painting will get that same energy by looking at the nature, the landscape that I've portrayed in my pieces.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they are so beautiful. So show us some of your works.
Oh, okay. Well, this is one of them. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
This
Yes.
was on a hike actually,
Yeah.
by a
Mm.
creek near our home.
Mhm.
The sun was beautiful, and it just cascaded a lot of beautiful shadows onto the snow. And
Wow.
it was so quiet. You know that first snowfall where
Yeah.
everything is hushed, and our world right now is full of noise and full of stress factors,
Mm.
and some areas being really volatile right now. This painting just hopefully inspires somebody to have some quiet, some peace, some energy rejuvenation as they see the painting. Yeah,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
the
Imagine
title of
had
this is called Flow. Go with the flow.
flow. Beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
art is just amazing. A painting that you look at every day in your space, whether it's your home or your office, it can literally change everything. And this is so important. And this is what art has contributed to me in my past. We're even going to a museum and seeing paintings. I love Rothko paintings and also the Expressionists. So just looking at color, and it is beyond words what it can create. And I love your paintings for the color that you use and the combinations of colors, and it is just so positive and so joyful.
Oh, thank you so much, Bettina. Yeah, and you know what? I just for a side note for everybody listening and watching this telecast, I started following you because your energy on Instagram is just so positive and uh spontaneous and happy. And then when you look at your paintings, they all go with spirit and energy and flow, right? Just like this. It
Mhm.
it it moves And even, sometimes you're dancing in your booth, and I just love seeing you. And I go, you know what, this Bettina person, I'm following her because she inspires me, and she, with her art, just they're all non-objective abstracts, and they just give light and energy, and I really like that about your work. And what do
Thank
you
you
have
so much.
behind you there, Bettina?
Yeah, this is actually a painting that I'm right now working on. It's not done yet.
Not
And
done
it's
yet.
yeah, and so it is lately I've been really into, I can show you something. I've been
Mm-hmm.
into really bright colors, right?
Wow.
So because this one you don't see it really very well right now. My lighting is not really incredibly great. But see,
Yeah.
I'm into bright colors. It's sort of
Mm-hmm.
unusual because I will easily bring in dark blues or something like this. I just painted these and they have
They have
metallic,
gold. They have
yeah,
metallic.
gold. Yeah,
They do have.
yeah, I love
It's not
gold.
gold leaf, right? It's not gold leaf. It's actually gold.
This
Gold
is
paint.
gold metallic paint. This one doesn't have gold leaf. I do have paintings where I add gold leaf. I just love it so much. And sometimes I have a golden metallic underpainting, which makes everything so warm. I love the warmth. And
Yeah.
and and so it is just such a joy. And I remember my first exhibits were in Luxembourg while I was still living there in Europe. And people came to me, they said, wow, your paintings are so joyful, they are so positive. Keep doing what you're doing. And
Right.
so when you comment on this, it is such a contribution because as artists, Marissa, we are in our world, we are in our studio, and we just pull things out of thin air and it just pours out. And to hear some positive feedback and to find out that it is actually a positive contribution to other people is so beautiful. And this is why I love chatting with other artists. I really enjoy this so much. I enjoy hearing about your journey because it is not like a road where we go from A to B and all is fine. It is where we had to make many choices and also changes. Some were very uncomfortable and others were more ease filled. But it is a journey where I want to even say we have committed to ourselves, right? We have
Yeah.
committed to whatever it takes. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to try it out. Like you, I'm just going to apply for shows and I see where it goes. And the same here.
Right.
When I came to Wisconsin, I came from New York City. I had this corporate banking background and I had no clue. I'm in the country here and I had no
Oh,
idea where to go with my art. Like how to, at art school, they don't talk about this.
no.
Where do I go? And I started also applying to art fairs, and I had only abstract paintings. Now I also added flowers, and I have some angel paintings. But back then I had big abstracts only. People were looking at it, and it was like, wow, what is she doing? It's very colorful. So it was so unusual. Now people are getting more used to it. They know me, and things have changed also. We still need to keep walking and we need to trust that trust element, right? Where it's very important as an artist to not allow critique
Mm-hmm.
to interfere with
Mm-hmm.
our our creation inspiration, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's people who don't really get it, right? They don't really understand. So, you just have to let that go. And just be true to who you are. So then just reach out to other artists, because artists need artists just to inspire one another, right?
Yes.
And do you belong to any art groups at all?
Yes, I do. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found out about you that you were the president of the
Society of Canadian
Society of
Artists.
Canadian Arts. This
Yes.
is huge. And you just handed over the scepter to the next person. Wow, this is
Yes.
incredible.
Yeah, so I was the president of Society of Canadian Artists. So now I'm past president, which I'm turning over a lot of the experiences and job responsibilities I had. It's a national association, nonprofit across Canada. We have close to 500 members. And it's a lot because we don't really meet um, uh, because it's so diverse. And as you know, Canada is huge. But
Mm,
we're gonna try and do more exhibitions to bring the members together and
mm,
invite guests. So eventually, we have dreams of having a nice convention and possibly making it a 3 day thing where there would be some demos and lectures and workshops and sharing opportunities for the members. So that is down the road, but that's the vision. Yeah.
wow, beautiful.
Mm,
And as
mhm.
you said, for artists, it is so important, and this is actually why I started these conversations, um,
Yes.
because it is inspiring. It is so beautiful to find out about you, how you venture out into nature. And I also saw that you teach classes.
Yeah.
Where do you teach your classes, and how do people find out about them?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. Three questions in one. Whoo.
Yes,
Yeah,
start
so the
talking.
answer to that is visit my website, right? So it's marissasweet.com. And then there you can see the workshops that I will be holding for next year. I have a plein air retreat coming up in October next year. So it's already online. And if they want to register, they can email me directly
Mm.
through my website. Shows usually will also be put on my website, so I can announce that.
You have prints available, right? Do you have some more art that you can show us? Or I
Yes,
know you have mugs also, and other things, right?
yeah. So right now, really I was focusing more on canvas prints, and
Yes.
so they can order from my website. If they find that this original painting is not the size that they need, they can click on to my shop and order the print size that they might need. And it comes in different mediums. It comes in paper print, fine art print, canvas, acrylic, and metal. For the last little while, Bettina, I have been really focusing my efforts on making tiny paintings.
Oh, show
And
us.
yeah, and I call them the Sweet 60 series. This is number one.
Oh,
And
wow.
the
Look
reason
at
it's
this.
called Sweet 60 is because they were done within an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is number one. And
So
it's
this
just on
is,
a board. This is an
ah,
original.
yes,
And
beautiful. So this is on a board, and
just
okay.
canvas board.
Yes.
It's already titled and signed. And it's pretty much, I'm letting it dry a little bit more and then I'm going to varnish it. It's just one. So there are
Wow.
no prints of this. This is the only one of that.
I love it. I love your colors, and they are so
Three.
free and so loose. I just want to quickly show one of my canvas prints, because I know that
Ooh,
Marissa's prints, canvas prints, will also be on a wide stretcher bar, and they have a wire in the back. They are ready. They come
ready,
ready for the
ready to be
wall.
hung.
So
Yeah,
this is
that's
my
nice.
sunflower.
So those are all the different flowers that you are making now, aside
Yeah.
from your abstracts.
Yeah, so this is an oil painting, and I was all day long in a sunflower field, and this
Oh,
bee
were you?
here was sitting there posing for me the entire time that I was there. So
What
yeah,
size
so
is that?
this is I think it is just a small one, 6 by 6
Six by
inches.
six. Yeah,
Inches. So
yeah.
not sure what that is in centimeters.
Oh no, no, we go by inches too.
Oh, you go by
Yeah,
inches.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, and then
actually,
see,
I
I have
can't.
some small,
Oh, look at
abstracts
them.
here. See?
Are those the prints as well?
No, these are now original paintings. They are,
Original
yeah,
now,
they are canvases, 6 by 6 inches, and they
right?
are little abstracts.
I
See?
like that.
Yeah, and
And
they
what
are
makes you
acrylic.
decide that it should be that way and not this way or that way?
Yeah, they can be turned, right?
Yeah,
They go in so many different ways.
right.
Yeah, but it's, as you said, it's beautiful. There is truly something about an original painting, and I really like it that you also paint small paintings. So because not everybody has the big wall space, and a small painting is so precious. And then I love yours, the sweet the sweet
The
60
Sweet 60?
sweet 60 series. Yes.
Yeah, because it
Um,
was painted in 1 hour. Yeah,
nice. I
yeah.
like that. 60 minutes.
Yeah, 60 minutes. This is another one too.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
So
wow. Yes,
I
beautiful.
like
That,
I like the blurry effect at the back and then it becomes really sharp in the front, right? In the foreground.
yes, wow. And I
Yeah,
love your colors. They are joyful and
they
they
are.
are so
Aw.
peaceful.
Yeah, we had a very good fall. And this is all based on just this fall that we just had. And I don't know how it was in your area, but the leaves were just so beautiful. I
We
would
had,
think we were the same climate.
yes, we had one of the most beautiful falls. The colors, I said to Joel, to my husband, it's almost like nature wanted to give us even more colors. There was in the oak leaves, there was not just like the burnt sienna,
But
but I
yeah,
discovered magenta and pink and like
right,
yellow, like
right.
cadmium yellow and lemon yellow, you name it. I was
I love.
collecting leaves actually, and I brought them. I dragged them in my studio just for the joy of colors. It was
Oh,
incredible.
yeah. So do you identify your colors? Oh, wow. That is an alizarin crimson. Do you do that?
Yes,
You're
I
looking at
do.
and
And
you and
and
you're
and I always think about how I can mix a color. I am very fascinated about color, and I got a great education in Kandinsky's color theory and how to sense color with my body. So when I see color, I'm right away going to, okay, so how can I mix this? And sometimes I need to mix certain shades, and very often I mix on my canvas, not on the palette,
right.
but you know, and I once had an art teacher, and I asked her, "Hey, Shirley, do you mix?" She was a like a classical educated oil painter. "Do you mix your colors on the canvas?" And she looked at me, "No, never. Only on my palette." It was so beautiful, and I thought, "Oh my God, I do this wrong."
Well, you're spontaneous, right? It,
Yes,
it's more it's more because you're so inspired by the abstract painters too, right? They
yes,
mix right on their canvas.
yes.
And the expressionist painters in New York were like mixing everything on their canvas, right? Mayonnaise, cigarette ash, whatever.
Sauces
Yeah.
of any kind.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
like sand, right? It's just, oh, I like that texture, right? So yeah,
yes,
there's a difference between the classical train, right, and also those that wanna just rebel against it, just do something totally off guard, you know?
yeah. So,
Yeah.
Marissa, I have a question for you. So, what would you say to somebody who says, I would like to paint, but I'm a little afraid. I was always told that I cannot paint. So, what tip would you give somebody who like would love to paint, but they think they cannot?
Mm, yeah. I get that a lot, right?
In your
And I
classes?
yeah, yeah. So well, first of all, I just tell them everybody's creative.
Mm.
Everybody is creative. The way you woke up today and decided what to wear, that's already creativity. the shade of lipstick that you bought, it's already creativity. So in terms of art though, as long as somebody's there to give you the basics, um you just have to keep practicing the basics and learn from others. I have a deep feeling and belief that everyone can paint if they decide that they want to paint, and they decide that they want to learn. So I think everybody should be able to paint. Of course, they shouldn't compare themselves to those
Mm.
that have been painting for a while, or have had maybe the education throughout maybe their grade school level. If you're just coming in at 45 or coming in after retirement, you just can't compare, but you just have to keep practicing. I
Yeah,
think
and that
everybody can
whole,
paint.
you are touching on a very important theme, and it's comparison in general. I always say we should not compare our art, anybody, whether they are newbies, they just start painting, or they are like lifetime long artists. We should never compare. And because it really is a trap, when we start comparing, and it's like so many points of view, to stay fresh and to always follow our own true north, is where I'm always asking questions. And for instance, when I see other artists' art, I'm not comparing. I just always go, wow, what is this actually right now inspiring in me?
Yeah.
Is it the colors? Is it the style? What can I try out here? What can I add to my techniques or to my flow? Because to me, art is really inspiring. So when I see other art, it is doing something, and I'm not going into copying or whatever, but sometimes I feel a yearning. It's like, wow, what is this actually? What is this painting telling me? What is their art telling me? And so in the past, for instance, when I was still in Luxembourg, I went to art school there already in the evenings and on the weekends while I was still in the job environment. And so I I I had actually defined myself as an abstract artist, and I was avoiding anything that could be representative. Like I was like totally avoiding it. It's like, no, I'm not going to paint anything that anybody ever could interpret as a flower, as an animal. I avoided it. And so then I went into, why am I avoiding it? And so I remember one day in my abstract painting, a shape was showing up that could be clearly identified as a dragon. And I'm like, I was so devastated. I was crying. I was resisting. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute, Bettina, what are you actually doing there? And so what I found out is that my being sort of was encouraging me to study body, to study shape. So in New York City, I went and I took classes, nude drawings, portraits, and I found out that it's actually, I'm good at it. I can do this. And it contributed to my abstract art. And
Mm,
now anything can show up because I'm actually wide open as far as what can come through. And I learned a tool. So I encourage everybody who has some resistance, when you see other artists' art and you have any resistance to it or envy or something, I always encourage you to look at, what is this actually? What is their art telling you? Is there maybe something that is a gift for you? Another tool to add to your toolbox,
right.
rather than comparing and beating yourself up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very hard, and I think too, it could be human nature as well, that you're trying to compare yourself to others, but really try to shut that down, because it'll you can never be like somebody else. So what you have to think in yourself, or mindset, is that you are an individual, you're unique to the world. what you give to the world is uniquely yours, and the art that you create is your own handwriting. As long as you know the basics theory and all that, the way you apply your paint will be so different from others, so different. Even if you're studying under a mentor and he's telling you everything, your handwriting is so you. So you have to celebrate that rather than criticize yourself, that, oh, I'm not good enough. If you are going to compare, which I try to do, I compare yourself to yourself 5 years ago.
Yes, I
What,
like that.
right? Compare your paintings to what you did 5 years ago, and you'll go, wow, I've learned so much. I wouldn't approach that landscape that way. I wouldn't do the sky that way. I would approach it this way now, right? And that is actually rewarding, that when you compare yourself to you, even a decade ago or yesterday's work, Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love this because it has also an acknowledgement part, right? Where you acknowledge, wow,
You've
wow, look at
grown.
this. I grew. I learned so much. Now look. And because we tend to not do this, we are just flying through life, right? And the next and the next and the next. But
Yeah.
it's really good to sit down and go through portfolios and look at, wow, look at what I can do now. And
Now,
now, what else can I create that I thought I couldn't? Right?
yeah, and even like the painting that you were so proud of, like, the painting you were so proud of like five
Mm,
years ago, that's a winner, right? And then when you look at it now, it's like, wow, I could approach that same scene totally different, with a whole
wow.
brand new of colors that you've learned to mix just by trial and error. I like that part. So I'm pretty much self-taught because I went the business world, right? But
Yeah.
but you really were educated in art, or your university is banking, commerce?
Well, I have a university degree in marketing and management. I have an education in Germany. There are not university degrees education, but school educations that
Oh,
where you can choose different things. So I learned banking and financial markets and all that. So
ah,
and for art, I I do not have a formal degree, but I went to art school and I'm still studying with Ronnie Landfield in New York City at the Art Students League. And I had these great teachers. I had a teacher here in Wisconsin. She taught me in oil, and then from somebody else I learned silk painting. And so it's this where I also say to everybody, you do not have to go to art school. You can, of course, and you can. It was so funny when I came to Wisconsin. I'm like, I got to find an art school. I got to find an art school. I got to have a degree. And
yeah.
so I found an art school here that is also a music school simultaneously. So you could have a degree in fine art and music. And I'm like, oh my God. And it was so expensive. I could not, wow, like how could I? And then I heard an inner voice telling me, just stop, Bettina. Just paint. Just paint.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, actually, experience is the best teacher too, right? So, and I'm like you. I did take classes in some galleries. All my life, I've always taken lessons every summer camp. And even in the corporate world, I'd still take, classes and workshops in some galleries, or continuing learning.
Mhm.
And you learn from so many teachers, and then even if you just pick up one thing from each class that you put into your bucket of knowledge, it just grows, right? Even
Yes.
just as simple as, oh, I use this brush for this one, or I use this medium and it makes things flow fast in
Yes.
acrylics. And
Yes.
then you can just put that in your bucket of knowledge, and then it just keeps, it's nice. We continue to learn. Once you stop
Absolutely.
learning, that's it.
Yeah, and this was actually when the gift in the shutdown, because of the shutdown, I looked into like online schools and I just wanted to connect with other artists because I felt so isolated and all that. And I came across the Art Students League, and they started, because of the shutdown, they started offering online
Oh,
classes. And it like, whoa, yes, let's do this. And it opened so many doors. It brought me to other artists. And so then this whole online world that we all were diving into, I started offering online art classes, right?
yes.
And had people from all over the world come to my painting workshop. So like, truly, what can we create and what is possible? And now everybody can find you. And this is the gift that you are, Marissa, that you offer classes. People can
Mhm.
actually learn. They do not have to go and get a lengthy and expensive college degree, but they can choose art classes and learn from you and learn your technique and learn from your journey. It's all our lives as artists, our journeys where
Mhm.
we walked the walk. Very often we landed with our face in the dust, but we stood up,
Right.
brushed off the dust, and
Yes.
said, oh, well, okay, so now I have another tool here. I know that this didn't work, but let's say, like magicians a little bit, let's put this together in a different way. And then we find out by accidents, all these accidents in the studio, oh my God, I can actually apply the paint this way by accident. And so
Right.
by taking art classes with you, Marissa, with another artist, people actually can have this well of knowledge available to them at their question, at their demand, at their asking, and this is so beautiful. I love it that you do this.
Oh,
I
well, thank you
encourage
so much.
everybody, you have to go to Marissa's website, marissasweet.com,
.com.
find her paintings, find her prints, and find her workshops, and also like find something that gives you joy. There are all these, like a greeting card or something that that is this
Mm.
anchor for your joy. Something, it can be a tiny thing that you put there next to your bed or on the wall, and it could be Marissa's greeting card or a small print. And it reminds you of our conversation here and also what our conversation is seeding and planting in your life right now, that you can then cultivate. Each time you look at this piece of art, you are like,
Right.
yes, I know. I know I can do this. They could do this, so I can do this too, right?
That's correct. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, um, yeah, I mean, like they can find me on marissasweet.com, and if they want to communicate with me through Instagram, I'm there as well. And it's called Marissa Sweet Art. I
Yes.
really play on my husband's last name.
Yes, you do,
Uh,
because it's also sweetheart. I love this. I thought, wow, what a great name.
Yeah, and
Yes,
as well, yeah, same as Bettina too. For those who are watching this, you know, try to reach out to Bettina because she's got such amazing abstracts that just give your heart a flutter. You know, they're
oh,
all so energetic, and they move you into the spirit. That's how I find your paintings. They're just so soulful, and they have so much energy.
oh, thank you so much, Marissa. I really appreciate this. So is there a last thing that you would like to say to everybody now that the holidays are coming and now that there's winter? I bet you are right now not painting all day plein air, no?
No, not right now. No, plein air is takes a I mean, like I could go out too, but right now because it's close to the holidays, there's just so much to do and in terms of planning and getting things ready for the holidays. But perhaps, on a warm Canadian winter, I may just go out for maybe an hour and do
Mm.
another sweet 60 series painting
I
out
know,
there.
and capture
Yeah.
the beautiful fluffy snow.
Yes. Yeah.
Such
Yeah.
beautiful light in the winter. like
Mm-hmm.
when the sun is starting to set and it's these warm tones, and when you have snow, it is just incredible. I think maybe you have inspired me right now to also maybe get my stuff out there in the cold, and maybe do just quick paintings, because the
Very
colors
quick.
truly, the colors during the winter are very pure and intense.
Yeah, it's pure in intent, and I mean, like, you're in the country, you probably don't have to go very far. It could be in your backyard, and I've done so many winter paintings in my backyard because I just bundle up, go onto my deck, and I could see a beautiful landscape because we have a ravine behind us. And then I just stay there for an hour, and if I get cold, I go back in, right? It's just so
I
close
would
to the house
I would have to
because it's
keep
in the
my
house.
water. I would have to keep my
Oh,
water from freezing.
yeah, that if anybody knows how to keep the water from freezing, tell Bettina. Oh boy, you may have to put it in a thermo,
Thermos. I
you
know.
know?
Well, I guess I will experiment. This will be fun for the winter.
Right, right.
Marissa, thank you so much for being here. Is
Well,
there a
thank you
last
for
word
inviting
that
me.
you would like to say to everybody?
Well, I wanted to thank you, Bettina, for inviting me to talk and to chat and to reconnect and to see where a conversation goes. Thank you for inspiring me. And to anybody who wants to reach out to me, I could be reached at marissasweet.com. Thank you very much, and happy holidays to everyone.
Yes, and happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to everybody. And go to marissasweet.com, go to bettinamedini.art, and you also find us on Facebook and Instagram. I will put all the links into the video, and have the most beautiful, happy holiday season, and use art to get inspired and get enlightened. I see you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.